But just like they said, we did not get enough music for Biggie and Pac to really put them in because they never had a chance to do
No,
this. They never had a chance.
at that time before he died, we didn't get enough music. But right after that, it was still albums dropping.
Posthumous
Niggas
albums,
not
you
comparing.
really counting
You can't
posthumous
compare two
albums?
dead
Why
guys.
wouldn't
You
you
can't
count
compare
it?
two dead guys and say they're the greatest.
Because that's not their music. That's somebody that done went and edited and changed it to give you something
Niggas
that you
got
think
what
that
are
they
you
wanted.
talking about? Niggas got edits anyway. It's called a producer.
But you're not behind the music. You're not
Oh,
saying
What the
yes
fuck
or
are we
no to the
talking about?
music.
yo, yo,
Bro, listen,
yo.
okay.
What the fuck?
XXX
Oh
Tentacion is
damn!
one of
What
my
the fuck
favorite.
are you talking
Hold
about?
on.
What you
I'm
think a
about to tell
producer
you.
is?
I'm
They
about to
editing
tell you.
shit.
Listen, listen. XXX Tentacion is one of my favorite artists of all time. He put out them two albums and then they put out posthumous albums. You get what I'm saying?
Them are still
Them so
albums.
I hear what you're
No
saying,
matter how it
but
was
them
mixed and put
songs, if you
together.
let me finish, you gonna let
Come
me
on, man.
finish?
Go
You gonna
ahead,
let me
cause you
finish?
about to say some nonsense. You've been saying some nonsense now.
Them songs are unfinished. They're unfinished verses, unfinished tracks. There's
Come on,
things
man. That
that
was not
that
about
you
finish, bro.
already know that this dude would not have put out.
That is a
They would
lie.
not let go.
Make a journey more than we.
Cause ain't he one of the art? If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but ain't he one of the
You are
people? He
wrong.
said he makes short songs on purpose.
Yes.
You
Then
are
what the
right.
fuck are we talking about? He was
Can,
doing it on purpose. He was making short songs. So if you sit here and be like, "Oh, he had unfinished shit," at that point, all his songs was unfinished, nigga.
no, because you could tell that the verse. I mean
You can tell it's different, bro.
the vocals that he put out did not match the
Yeah.
features that they put on the album. He would have never
On the
had Rick
beat, bro.
Ross. He would have never had Rick Ross
Never.
on his fucking album. He would have never
Maybe
had.
they
Never.
did. Maybe they did that to complete the songs because he wasn't
He would
completing
have.
songs anyway.
The songs were not finished. They were unfinished tracks.
He was
It was
lit,
unfinished tracks,
but
bro.
he was literally doing unfinished tracks on purpose.
No, he was not.
He
No,
said
he
it.
wasn't. He was
He
okay.
was
He
literally
said
Niggas
making
gonna act like
very short songs
I
on
can't name
purpose.
people.
He said it.
yes. He said that he was putting out shorter music to make people want more. That was hit that and his shit was working. He was about to start putting out shorter music.
So wouldn't that shit make it seem like it's unfinished?
No, it's not unfinished if you're doing
So
it
you
on
tell me
purpose.
a 30-second song, a minute song. This the type of songs he was dropping sometimes.
So listen, when they dropped Skins for X, his album started with a robot's voice. That's not something that X would have done. X would have did his own whatever what is the word?
We
That he did.
you know why we can't say that though? Because
Yes.
we can't say that because we really don't know what direction he was going to take anyway because he
Yes.
passed. Because he
I
got
hear what
killed.
you said.
Just like with
Exactly.
Tupac and them, we really don't know what direction. But at the end of the day, it was verses that was recorded, that
Mhm.
was going to be the engineer and the producer was going to mix and master and put them songs
Mhm.
together
Mhm.
to put out an
Okay, I got
album.
you. I'm about to hit you with it. You ready? So
Go ahead,
so
my dog. Go ahead,
so
five.
so on Eminem's last album, he took beats from old songs that he never put out. He took the verses off and changed the entire songs. This is
Okay.
what artists do. They have hundreds and hundreds of songs that don't want to come out. But because X was signed $1 million deal from
Hmm.
these people, they have to recuperate that money. They
Right,
have to
right,
get it back. So they're gonna put out whatever they can, however they can, to
right,
make the
right,
money back.
right.
Right.
And they did what? They
They
made
did
it.
the same thing for Tupac.
They made it into an album.
They made it into an album. They made it
Right.
for something to sell. So therefore,
So you
they did the
saying
same
that?
thing for
So
Tupac.
is it his
They did the
album or
same thing
not?
for Tupac. They did the same thing for
I'm
Tupac. They did
asking.
the same.
Is it his album or not?
Called a posthumous album. His album in parentheses. It's his album.
So it's still his album, right?
And the
He's
last
the name
album,
that has, he's the name that on the
that's
marketing
it.
for it to sell.
That's it. That's it.
But that's still his
It's false
album.
advertising. It's false advertising
How was that false advertising?
because they
Because
It's
say
if
that.
you're a
it's
real
still
pop
his.
fan, you
It's
can't say
still
all of those
it's
tracks are
still
pop.
his
Because if whoever
goddamn
was listening
music.
to pop, so hold on, we got to think about it. When Pac
I,
was doing his thing, I'm thinking of from a mindset from early 20s around when Pac was really that guy. The older guy, the older generation, they listen to the Pac, the albums after he passed. Some of those will say that those aren't real Pac songs because Pac would have delivered it this way. Pac would have said this bar this way. There's a page I follow on
what are
Instagram
they
that
talk?
shows
It's
Pac
recorded by
in the
Pac
studio
though.
recording songs and
Oh, it's
everything. And
not.
when you
It's
go back,
not.
when you go what?
What do you
Go ahead,
mean
Five.
it's
Keep
not?
going.
It's
When
recorded
you
by
go back,
Pac. These are
hold on.
Pac
When you
verses.
listen to when you go to All Eyes on Me, and then when you listen to Machiavelli, bro, you can tell that he wrote those, and you can tell that those were recorded in the time period where he was still alive. But if you listen to the ones after, like a Tupacalypse, not Tupacalypse, but if you listen to what's the one? What's the one? Oh my goodness, fuck.
So on
So
Joyner Lucas's album, he had a DMX feature.
Hmm.
That was just a bought verse from a song that X already had, and again, they need to
What
make
you
money,
talking
so
about?
they
You said
sell
that
it.
okay,
Joyner Lucas. What you talking about?
On
so
Joyner
when you go to
Lucas's
Pop,
last album, he had the DMX track. When you listen to that
He
song,
said this or something?
yes,
But he
he
also
has.
but he also had a song with DMX that he recorded too though.
No, I hear what you're saying, but if you listen to the song,
Hmm.
DMX is talking about God. Joyner ain't talking about nothing that X is talking about. That the
Okay.
the songs, it don't line up. The verses don't match. They don't line up.
What's your point?
And that's why
so
when you go back and
so
listen to
Pop,
when you go back and listen to
Mama,
these when you go back and listen to these Tupac verses, you can see and you can tell that the beats, the verses, the choruses, they don't match. This
so
was never a real
Juwan,
song.
I'll give you
It's like
this,
some shit
Juwan.
that AI made. It's like some shit that AI
After
could make.
Are You Still Down, which dropped in '97,
Mm.
that was the first that was Pac's first album after he passed. Are You Still Down? I can say because I listened to that album. Majority of that album was definitely recorded and it sound like Pac. But when you go to Until the End of Time, Still I Rise, Loyal to the Game, those no, that's not Pac. That's not Pac.
So who is it?
Not Pac. AI nigga.
Around that time?
Yep.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Yep. Aliens been around longer than all of us combined alive.
Hey, this
And
nigga
people
about to
don't believe
start
in
some
aliens.
bullshit.
No, I'm not.
You niggas sound crazy right now.
The coolest weirdo.